Hey. How y'all doing?
I'm in trouble, aren't I? Let me get comfortable here. So hey, to the people who aren't watching me for obvious reasons, because I haven't been around at all. I made 2 videos, good for me, and I dipped again. And it's now a year later, and I'm in the same spot for the same reasons. But hey, I have really done some work. I've done some work, and I'm not even going to promise you this time that I'm going to stick around, but I think it's in my best interest at this point that I do. I wrote some things down. I know it's in the back, I don't know what I'm playing. Okay, so based on the title, I figured out what my problem is. I think just overall though, it is time to cease distractions. It kind of happens every single year. I start the healing process, I start wanting to do more for myself, and then it's one thing or another, but most of the time it is my lover girl tendencies. I get caught up in somebody's potential and somebody's, I don't know, whatever you call it, the riz, the whateversies, and I just lose myself. So I'm realizing that romance is my biggest distraction. Like I just said, it is kind of just like the worst thing for me. I guess this is like editing me, but like I'm popping in to say like, it's like love isn't like the worst thing for me, but just like at this time it's not the best thing for me. It's not the thing that I should be focused on, if that makes more sense, because I don't know, when I said that, it's just like not that like I'm giving up on love. It's really just more like I am walking away from love at this time, because it's just not, it's not like, I don't know, it's definitely just not helping right now. So I'm just not. Nothing that I have ever been in has ever worked out. Not all bad, but mostly terrible, yeah. And I'm just kind of, I'm tired, I'm exhausted, and I'm tired of figuring out what I can do better, how I can communicate better, to get these people to behave. But it's just like, these people aren't gonna do that for me. That's not how it works. These people are gonna do what they're gonna do, and there's no amount of love that I can pour into somebody, there's no amount of communication that I can give to somebody to make them want to be with me. And at this point, I am just deciding that it's cool, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I feel like I'm chasing like a constant happily ever after, and even when I'm not currently talking to somebody, I am actively chasing it, meaning that like when I go out into the world, I will be looking, every time I see something that's attractive, I'll just be like automatically playing a story in my head, like, oh, if we make eye contact right now, we're gonna fall in love and it's gonna be so cute. It's like this whole like aesthetic-y thing, and like it's not like that. Or the apps, her, Hinge, Tinder. down those things, just swipe, 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 swipe. And not even, and most of the time, not even seeing anybody that like I actually am interested in too. It's like, it's a scarcity mindset. It's like as soon as I see someone that's like mildly attractive or somewhat of something of what I'm looking for, I gotta latch onto that. I gotta pray to God, please, so make this work. And it shouldn't be like that. And then when I do start talking to somebody, it's just like I'm trying to make it do what it do. Like, I kind of already know, well, I don't know, but it's just like I get a strong feeling that it's not gonna be it like what I want it to be. And most of the time, the people that I'm trying to deal with are emotionally unavailable, have avoidant attachment style, which does not work because I have an anxious attachment style. I need to admit that to myself. I have an anxious attachment style. When I am looking to be loved, I need to be loved. I need someone who's willing to give me high amounts of reassurance all the time, to spend time with me, and that's just not what I'm running into. Like, I feel like I keep trying to be more genuine, be more vulnerable, and I think honestly, there's more people than not who are just not ready for something serious and something real, and kind of think maybe I'm not either. If I keep like attracting these people and I kind of go along with the casual route, which I know that I'm just not built for. So I'm donezo, no funzo. So far on this journey, it's been about a month. I decided to do this really just after the last person I dealt with. I was just not having it. They weren't like a bad person. It was just like they obviously weren't ready. And this is actually our second go around, and that's my fault for like going back to it. That was sad. And it was just, my last straw was getting stood up. They were gonna come over, we were gonna watch a movie, cute, something slight, nothing crazy. I text them and asked, hey, is it still like a good day for you to come over? Giving them the opportunity to be like, no, I want to do something else, da 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 da. And then they literally call me, FaceTime me, be like, oh, what time do you want me to come over? Da 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 da. I'm gonna do such and such first, and then, you know, da da da. And I'm like, cool. The rest of the night, never heard from them. The next day, I called to make sure that they were okay because they never said anything to me. Called twice, nothing. And then they just randomly texted me like, hey, and I'm just like, I'm over it, you know? So after that, I just could feel like the frustration of like the way that my dating life was going is just, no, I don't want to do it anymore. I'm tired. And that's when I just had it in my head, like, what would happen if I really just stopped? What would happen if I really just stopped dating? Like, not just like, because I've only had one relationship in my entire life, and even that was like I've never like really been with anybody that like I really liked and knew that they really, really liked me.
I got my bonnet on now, like I'm about to take a nap. But that's a lie. I have been with people who really, really liked me. But maybe I'm like a fearful avoidant, because it's just like, if somebody really, really likes me, like wants to be with me within like the first few weeks of knowing me, now at least, that, no, I can't do that. That's gonna scare me and I'm going to run away. But there have been people who have really, really liked me. It's just that their anxiousness about liking me kind of turned me avoidant to that. So, but yeah, I just wanted to be honest. People have like really, really liked me. I guess I just haven't been into it. I mean, or just the way that they went about it did not seem genuine or healthy to me. So
you know, like I've never had that. So, but when I say like I'm not dating, nothing, no talking to no one, no hooking up with anybody, not trying to flirt with anybody. When I go outside, we're I don't know if you guys can hear the jet noise. That's why like I stopped, because I didn't know whether it would get close or they would get far. I don't know, we'll push through. When I go outside, I'm not looking at anybody. I'm not trying to be looked at, but hey, I can't help if they look, because I don't think that was cute at all, but I know my body. Anyway, but yeah, just not doing any of that. And for at least like a year. And in my head, like when I first said that to myself, I was like, because like that's crazy for me to not be doing that. Because I think I've gone on similar type of like, you know, detoxes before, but I've never really cut myself out, like taken myself off the market. I've always kept myself open to things. But not this time. But not this time. I've put a lot of attention and energy into something that has never really given me anything back. In terms of like being a lover girl, it's just like I will meet somebody, I will give and I will give and I will give, and I will put so much energy and so much try into somebody and get nothing back from that. And I started to realize, like, and I've noticed this for a while, but it just really didn't really hit me like how much it was hurting me until now. Like, every year I'm grieving over somebody. There's always somebody that like broke my heart for the year. There's always one person. And so you start to think like, well, who's it gonna be next year? Am I gonna be in the same spot? And I always know, oh, you're not gonna feel this way next year. And here I am, looking a little goofed up. Not booed up, goofed up. And I just started noticing like the pattern, and I was just like, what do I do? And it's been a while since I've been in a situation like that, where it's just like, I know that there's a problem, I can see that there's a problem, but I don't know how to stop the problem. Really, just like, it wasn't something that I sit down and came to terms with. It was just something that popped to my head. Just stop. Why don't you just stop? Because that's the only way that you're not gonna feel like this a year from now. And I wasn't even trying to feel this way this summer. I actually, because like I said, with this last person, I cut her off, and then I took my goofy ass right back to her. And when I did cut her off, it was like at the beginning of March. And I was like, that gives me enough time to get over her and be good for summertime and not be stressing over anybody. But it was like, I was so bored without, you know, having somebody or having something, that just like I was willing to go back to that pain of not being like appreciated, not being seen. And it's just like, you know, that was sad. It's like, what are you doing? Sorry, the mail lady just came by. I lost my train of thought. Oh, I remember now. And I realized that also it's just like, I think I'm just so familiar with being in situations and being in relationships where it's not an equal exchange. And I think that just goes from childhood, that it's just, I will self-sabotage myself and put myself in situations like that even when I'm at peace. And that made me sad for myself, because it's just like, dang, like, you did that to yourself, you know? So with that, I also did some math, and the mathed up, I realized that typically for me, it's just like, this is how the cycle goes. It's like, I will, let's say like I was talking to somebody, we didn't do well, it was like a dramatic breakup, whatever, like breaking up people that like I wasn't even with each other, but like for whatever reasons we separate. It's donezo. I'm sad. I'm so upset because I wanted it to be them so bad, right? And then about 4 months later, usually 4 months will go by and I'll be fine. In fact, not only am I fine, now I'm talking to somebody else. And I'll be talking and kicking with them and and some of y'all can relate. About 2 to 3 months later, it falls apart. It falls apart. And then I'll be boohoo, it'll fall apart, and then I go back. This is actually kind of new. I used to not ever go back, but the past 2 years I've been going back, and yeah, it's embarrassing. Anyway, but then I go back and then we try again for a month or two, and then it falls apart again because they were never supposed to, we were not supposed to get together in the first place, according to the universe. So that is about 4 months of healing, and this is also around the time where I'll make like a video like this during those 4 months of healing and thinking like, oh, I'm pretty good, but then somewhere around the 4th month, between the 4th month and the 5th month, somewhere in the space, I meet somebody and then I'm distracted for month 1, 2 to 3, that like I'm all booed up with them, and then the 2 months after I'm sad, and then I go back for month 6 and possibly month 7, and then we fall apart again, and then I'm boohooing again, and the cycle continues, for 4 months I'm out of commission. So that brings us up to, it's a lot more months now that I've counted it out on camera, but it's looking like about 10 months of dysfunction versus like 4 months of growth. 10 months of me distracted and not moving forward and not progressing versus 4 months of healing and growth. And I could probably get like a lot more done, but not even 4 months, because pretty much in those first 2 months, I'm just getting started. So it's really just 2 months. That's sad. And so back to like, the point is, I think I just need to stop dating. There's probably other things that probably contribute to my distractions in life, but I think dating is like the biggest factor, I think. And so far, like, I'm okay. I feel like it hasn't really hit me yet, because after doing the math, I know that like my typical self-sabotage point is around 4 months after like the last person that like I talked to and dated. I'm usually like good, not talking to anybody, not seeing anybody for about 4 months, and then I will just come across somebody. That's what usually happens. So I think I'm good, and I really honestly don't think it gets really, really challenging until that 4 month mark, but we'll see. So far, like, what I've never really done before is cut off like all the dating apps. So like I haven't been swiping or like trying to look at people or trying to really make a romantic connection, since I decided that I wasn't gonna do this anymore. And that has been really weird. I've been surprised at myself that like it's like it is a weird withdrawal thing. It is really, really weird. Noticing that like I have more space and time, like planning out my days is just like I'm now trying to like insert productivity in the space where like I'd give probably like more room to be like depressed and sad and stuff. I think just like overall, I'm in the same place that I was a year ago when I made my first video for this channel, which was, I'm still very much hot, but I'm also broke again. I wasn't broke for a good portion of the year, and thank God it had nothing to do with people that I dated while I was broke. I learned my lesson tenfold from that. I'll never ever lose money over a person ever again. But I just feel like the energy that I was putting out there just put me like, I don't know, made myself more susceptible to being, because I think another reason is also just like, I really like sucking on corporate America's like titty. Like, it's so good. It's so good. It makes you feel like you're part of the team, but you know, like, that you're not part of the team. And like, they got me, I was sucking on that titty, but I was also biting the titty. And so basically I got fired from the last job that I had, but that job, it was a decent job, but it was just like, I wasn't fitting in. And I weirdly just don't think that it was just like the universe kind of like saying, that's not what you want to do. And that's another thing that like I am also realizing is that like I don't know, the way that I see that my life in my head, I've always imagined myself being like in the middle of like this beautiful like giant pool, like on a floaty, like with sunglasses and a drink. And never in those fantasies had I ever thought of a partner. And I never really dreamed of labor. Like, I just want to be pretty in pretty places. That's all I've ever wanted to do. Yeah. Crazy. But yeah, I'm in the same place that I'm at from last year, and I just feel like I don't want to be in the same place that I don't want to be in the same place every single year. Getting money, losing money, this up and down with money and progression. Like, I am progressing. I'm gonna give myself credit and be like, I had a better year financially than the year prior, and the years prior. So I know that I'm only getting better, but I wanted to maintain. I want everything to maintain. And so I've made it a healing girl summer. It's about to be a healing girl year. I guess, like, you know, in terms of school year terms, because it's gonna be from 2022 to 2023. We're healing and we're focused and we're cutting off distractions. Prayer with all of us. Please, please, please keep me focused. Please don't have me fall in love with no dusty. You and I both, girl. But thank you to no one who's watching me, because I think probably 7 people, I've only gotten 7 views on the last video. I don't have any subscribers, but let's see what happens in a year from now when I'm completely focused on this, on not this, well, yes, this, but like, I meant me. When I give all my lover girl energy, my lover girl energy to me. Like, that is so new, because, you know, like, back in like in like the early like 2010s, like, this was our thing, but now it's like, it's new, it's like it's this, but it's just like